Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and we meet again for the second chapter for week 2, which is communication at workplace. And basically, we are going to look at what are the aspects of communication that we normally engage in a workplace, right? Okay, basically, in order for us to communicate better at a workplace, we need to listen and respond effectively. Now, I think listening and responding to what people say in a working setting is very vital so that we will understand the whole conversation. All right, the first thing that you need to do is to listen. Okay, when someone is talking, you have to stop and listen. And number two, you pay attention to their body language. Now, body language plays an important role as well. But later on the later chapters, we'll be talking about this. Okay. Number three, consider the communication preference, meaning to say, what do these people prefer to communicate with? Some people they prefer to talk or engage with another person using WhatsApp, for example. That means written communication. Others prefer verbal communication like phone call, face to face, so on and so forth. All right. So you must know what is their preference. The third one is to consider your tone. Now, when we talk to a person, I think it's very vital, it's very important for us to know what is the tone that we need to use. Okay. Next is don't be too casual. We're talking about working place here. It can be a bit casual, so that you won't look rather formal in front of your colleagues or subordinates or your superiors. But don't make it too casual, otherwise people will mistake your communication or your intention. Yeah. Of course, check your grammar. That will be the third one. The next point. Check your grammar. Check the language used, sentence used, words used. Next is you keep criticism constructive, meaning to say, when someone is talking about something or presenting an idea, and you seem not to agree with that idea, not necessarily you. I mean, of course, we can always criticize, but we have to criticize constructively, meaning that when you say that, oh, I think I disagree with you because why? Give your reasons why. And I think what can be done is then suggest something else. Don't just say that I just don't like your idea, or I don't like your idea because, and it stops them. That means it's a criticism, but it's not constructive. Constructive means you provide your own solution as well, so that people can do some check and balance which one they prefer the most. Next is to restate what you hear, meaning to say, if let's say, or for assurance, for example, when you are engaging in a conversation, if you need to reconfirm on certain details, then you restate what you hear. Because if let's say what you restate is wrong, the person will help to rectify. Get a little persona, meaning to say that when you talk to someone, there must be like an enthusiasm in it. You're being alive, not like a walking dead, or monotonous. Try not to be too monotonous. There must be, your voice has to be modulated. Like when you are telling a story, there was this one time that I saw. You see, you lower it down. You want to gain the attention, the attraction of these people. And of course, the last one is never stop improving in order for you to listen and respond effectively in a workplace. Now we move on to the next topic, which is body language. We'll start off with facial expressions. I guess these are some examples that you can look here that represent facial expressions. Now, when we talk, one of the thing that we need to look at is facial expressions, whether they are sad, if that person is sad, delivering sad news, how do we respond to it? Yeah. And then in terms of the eyes, as you can see that sometimes when people are actually, you can see that they show you big eyes, so they're looking straight in your face. That means they are really interested in your stories. But some people will just look at somewhere else, or maybe scanning you from head to toe, or blinking a lot. That shows that they are not comfortable with the topic. So you must be able to identify this, yeah. And then we have the mouth, the lips, sometimes, like for example, people sometimes bite their lips when they are worried, anxious, or stressed. When you talk about something they're not comfortable with, then perhaps they will be doing this. Or maybe some people will just tighten the lips just to show that they disapprove of your topic, of your conversation, so on and so forth. And then gestures means that your body gestures, the movement of your bodies. You clench your fist, meaning it could mean that you are angry, or it could also show some solidarity. It could also show that you are giving motivation. And then when you do the okay sign, that means you're okay, that means you're good to go to talk about the topics, so on and so forth. Then we talk about arms and legs. Sometimes people cross their arms to show that they do not want to be engaged with the conversation. They do not want to listen to you, or they're being defensive. That means you're talking about something and they just want to defend their points. And some people, they just put hands on the hips, maybe to show that I'm in charge. I'm the one in control here. All right. So these are the things. And then of course, you have the posture, your body posture. How do you sit? If you cross your legs, then or you close your I mean your legs are close together, so it means that you're being anxious, you're not friendly. That person is not friendly. When that person open posture means that your leg are wide apart, and then you can see that the body or the hands movements, that means that that person is being very friendly, try to be more open, or receptive towards you. Okay, then we have personal space. Sometimes when we talk about body language, let's say you're engaged in a one-to-one conversation, you may want to have a closer distance with that person, so that he or she can hear you attentively, clearly. But if let's say it's a public event where you have a speaker and an audience, then the audience must be seated slightly far apart, so that the speaker can get like the whole context of the audience. And then sometimes when there are too many people in the crowd, uh, if they are quite near to the speaker, that also can bring discomfort to them. And when we talk about questions and clarification, sometimes, when you hold a conversation or you engage yourself in a conversation, another point that you may want to consider is on how to question a person and how to clarify questions. Yeah. So these are some of the things that you may want to include in, like where possible, use open-ended questions, right? Like, what do you think? In your opinion, do you think that this is advisable? That requires a person to come up with a longer or a quite an elaborated explanation instead of giving you yes or no answer. And then focus on the questions on the here now. That means if that person is talking about something, you talk about. Sometimes, a lot, when you engage in a conversation, a lot of people would ask questions that are not related to what is happening at that moment. You are talking about having friends over at your house, party, this and that, and suddenly the other person asks you, hey, what happened to your ex-boyfriend 5 years ago? No? So they are not actually related, but we have that tendency. Yeah? Ask questions to clarify what the other is saying. If let's say you're unsure about what that person is talking, then you ask questions. Ask questions about the person's perspective, assumptions, and actions. Yeah. And of course, last but not least, ask the person for help. Okay, when it comes to negotiation, uh, okay, I'm sorry, I've missed that part. Okay, these are some of the points that you can actually look at when it comes to negotiation at workplace. Like, think of the other person, do not assume, clarify, ask things, don't assume. If you're not sure, then ask for clarification, ask them to explain. Don't make threats. Okay, do not make threats. Okay, do not blackmail them.